Now, just a brief version of what I said in the preceding video. The asterisks can stand for any number, and one asterisk doesn't have to equal the other. In general, they'll all be different. It just stands for the fact that there's numbers in these positions, and those numbers might be zero, but there's no need to assume that they're zero. You might assume that they probably aren't, but might be. If your augmented matrix reduces to this, then we know that x equals this, y equals this. This equation just says 0 equals 0, so it doesn't say anything about z. So it doesn't give us a value for z, but it doesn't restrict the value that z can take. So we can say that z can take any value. So for any value of z, we have a value of x, we have a value of y, and z can be anything. It turns out that in three-dimensional space that would give us a vertical line, but we haven't talked about that yet. Okay, in this case, this case differs because we have numbers here and here. And this makes the equations a little bit more complicated, but not significantly so. The interpretation, you get a straight line this way too, but it's not parallel to any of the axes in general. You have x plus some number times z equals some number, y plus some number times z equals some number, and again, our third equation gives us no restriction on z. So if we have a value of z, then we have x plus some number times z equals some other number. We can plug that number in and find x. Similarly, if we have a value for z, we can plug that into this equation and get a value for y. So any value of z will give us a value of x and a value of y, so we have a point. So for every possible value of z, for every real number value of z, we have a value of x and y. And again, that turns out to give us a straight line in three-dimensional space if we interpret it geometrically, and that's coming up. If we have this, there's no solution because 0 can't equal 1. And we understand that this side gives us 0 because it's 0x plus 0y plus 0z, which is just plain 0. This is on the other side of the equal sign, so we have 0 equals 1. No solution. Similar to what we have over here. Inconsistent equation. Okay, and a couple videos ago I didn't mention what these asterisks meant, but I really didn't refer to this matrix, but maybe if you were confused about that, this will clarify it.